All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this is going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On third down, Trubisky. Hard throw, incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So on fourth down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another fourth down. They decline it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I figure I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
You're so litigious. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Ryan to throw. And his pass incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play, and third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's taken on the 25. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Bears take over. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or...
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They go play action with Trubisky. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Here's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Grady Jarrett busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Here's Trubisky to throw. Flushed out right. Looking deep for Gabriel. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. Curl's got it, complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Gun. Let him go.
On 2nd down, Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
20.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And his throw here is incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now it's Ryan. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete. So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. From the right hash, this from 53. And that hits the crossbar and comes back no good. And by just a couple of inches, this remains a scoreless game. So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. Now Trubisky on 1st down. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
You see it? You see it?
On second down, here's Trubisky. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now Trubisky on third and long. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a fourth down. So here's the kicker, Caleb Sturgis, on to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 53. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Beathard. Over the middle, able to find Carew. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told that.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Takk McKinley in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Takk McKinley in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Take it at the 37. Oh, shifty. Whoa. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
56. Lucky 56.
To throw is Beathard. He completes it to Julio Jones. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now Beathard. They'll set up the screen for Freeman, and he'll get nothing out of that one. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass. And sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's Beathard to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. Back to throw Beathard. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw is Beathard. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Lucky. You know that's one that he would love to have back. That should have been picked off. Threw that one into a crowd. He's just so fortunate the defender couldn't react fast enough and get his hands up.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Bryant's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, Trubisky. His throw incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Lucky 56. Gone, 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 gone.
They'll throw here. Beathard. It's incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
The Falcons on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Beathard to throw. And it's complete. Hooper. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And his throw is incomplete. They were looking that time for Leonte Carew. That'll bring up second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And it's third down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. This is brought in by Hardy. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Back to throw now on first down. The left side completion to Jones. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Leonte Carroo, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistent.
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I know exactly why he tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. They're going to look to throw. Going up top. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle 3rd of the field. And that brings up 4th.
Well, they went for the big play there. But that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Here's Trubisky. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now it's Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. 2nd and 10. It's Trubisky again. Out left to Shaheen. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. So out come the Falcons now. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Leopard! Gone!
Beathard. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jones. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Gone!
They'll set up to throw. Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pick up there at 20 yards.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. He'll look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's a nice pickup at 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll run here with Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. To throw is Beathard. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And the lead will grow by one more. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Trubisky will throw, and nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every...
And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
18.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a carry now for Mike Gillislee. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right? You're shortening the field for your receivers. And their inclination is to go towards the sidelines as fast as the quarterback is as well. Hard for them to throttle down to leave themselves with enough room to stay in bounds and catch the ball. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Onto the field now come the Bears. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll run it now out of the gun. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. A good productive run there on 1st down. He winds up getting 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Yeah, just couldn't hang on to the slant. On 3rd down, Trubisky. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. A pretty good return, all things considered, but hold it.
I agree with you totally. It's actually a return that they were going to be very proud of. But when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
They go play action here on 1st down. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
3 down. Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Beathard to throw. Complete over the middle to Hardy. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play. Beathard now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw is Beathard. Buying time to his left. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a 1st down. Smith trying to run for it. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They'll throw here. Beathard. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Here's Beathard to throw. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. The Falcons will call on Matt Bryant for the field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will up the score now. It's 23-zip. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Cohen. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Off the toss, Cohen. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. That's a gain of 6 on the 1st down run.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Grady Jarrett in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Vic Beasley in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Looking deep for Gabriel. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
A first down carry for Smith. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
Back 99 Philly, here we go!
On 3rd down, Smith. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will make the lead now 26. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9".
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. They run. This is Cohen. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. This is caught by Robinson. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Steps away to his left. And Robinson with a big catch. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A Chicago first down. The former Jag, Allen Robinson, on the catch from Trubisky. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. 22 yards on the pickup there. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
Alert! Alert! 3 down! 3 down! Hot!
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Falcons, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Chicago, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.